I make thrown porcelain vessels with hand-painted cobalt-blue decoration. I've pretty much learnt to throw with porcelain, which is very, very odd. Most people wait until they're quite proficient at throwing before they start with porcelain, but I always knew that I wanted to do blue and white, so I didn't see any point in practicing with something that wasn't going to be able to achieve the final outcome that I wanted. Because I've not used the other material so well, I'm not actually aware of its difficulties as much as most people probably are, which I think has done me a favour because I wasn't too scared of it. In theory, as long as it's a pattern and it can be repeated into each section of the pot, then it can work. So the possibilities are endless, really. I figured out that you could divide the pot up into quarters or eighths or sixteenths, and that way each section expands to the shape of the pot. When you start at the top of a bottle, for example, the pattern becomes really tight and really, really intricate, and then as the bottle widens out, you can see the pattern much more clearly with much more white space. Obviously, you must have drawn tens of thousands of circles now, so you obviously become more proficient the more you practice something. I do like things to be just right, but equally, when you're hand painting something, my circles might look perfect, but if you really examine them, they're not, and I'm fine with that, because if they were perfect, they would have this completely different quality that made them look like they were done by a machine. I've been using the same processes for nearly 6 years now, the same throwing porcelain, the same blue pen, the same using a pencil. When I sat down and used luster and I lustered my first kiln load of pots, I couldn't believe how much I'd missed using a paintbrush. Even that, using a different tool, was so lovely. It's challenging my head in a different way that it hasn't been challenged in a while. It's one of the only things that I found so far that work really nicely with the blue and white. I want people to look at my work and be really wowed that it's made by a human and be amazed by its intricacy. I really want people to think my work's beautiful.